Hi, Scott here again in the Lifestyle Kitchen. Continuing with our farmers market theme, what we're doing today is a roasted rabbit on a tomato couscous with a herbed pesto. So we're using rabbit, which is coming all the way to the market from up in the Gore region, and basically I've actually boned the rabbit out, so I've got two long pieces here of the rabbit and a smaller piece off the leg, and what I'm going to do is season those up just with a wee bit of pepper and a wee bit of salt. And I've also got a Moroccan seasoning, which you can buy in the supermarkets quite readily. And that's just going to add some Moroccan flavours. There's some cumin and some mint and coriander flavours in there as well. So I've got a hot pan on at the moment, getting nice and hot with a wee bit of olive oil. And I want to sear the rabbit on each side. It's quite lean. So all we're going to do is just get a wee bit of colour into it, and then into the oven it will go to finish off. A lot of people are not familiar with it. Of course, it was eaten a lot in hard times, depression, those sort of things, but is now becoming more readily available. I remember seeing a nice recipe a few years ago done with a beetroot risotto and rabbit. And it was a guy, chef working in Florida, who was playing around with that at that stage. So just nicely coloured on the outside, and I'm going to finish that in the oven. Right, we're going to make a herb pesto to go with this. So really need a food processor. If you haven't, you could do it using mortar and pestle. That would work, but food processor is really the best. So in there is going a whole lot of fresh herbs. There's some Italian parsley, just whatever you've got fresh green herbs around. I've toasted off some pine nuts, so in goes some toasted pine nuts, and in here I've got a clove of garlic, which is going in, and some shaved parmesan. Now you want to turn the machine on and get those processed. So we're going to run the machine first just so we can get a lot of them already chopped up. And then we're going to start drizzling in some olive oil is good, grapeseed oil is also very good, or a mixture of the two, or just some normal old vegetable oil would be fine as well. Now for consistency, it depends on what sort of use you're using your pesto for. This one I want more of a sauce consistency that actually can drizzle or pour over the dish. At this stage at the moment it's quite a thick consistency, which is great for serving with breads or just using as a spread. But as I said, I want more of a sauce consistency, so I'm going to add a wee bit more oil. A wee bit of salt goes in. And I'll finish with a few grinds of pepper. So we can take that out of our processor, and pesto is going to keep in the fridge. So we'll get that into the little container. We need that for our garnish later on. Then we're going to look at our couscous. So we need some couscous as our starch. We'll check on how our rabbit's going. roasting up really nicely. Right, Cous Cous. You can buy this Cous Cous in most supermarkets. It's what you call an instant Cous Cous. All you do is follow the instructions on the packet, put the quantity of Cous Cous into a bowl, pour over boiling hot water, and then cover the whole bowl in Glad wrap. And the actual Cous Cous will cook in the steam that's created, and it'll actually absorb all that water. So you do have to follow the directions correctly on the packet. So I've already done that. So here's my Cous Cous. So I just put the quantity in the bowl, added the hot water, a wee bit of knob of butter, and a wee bit of salt and pepper, and that's fluffed up really nicely. So all I'm doing to that is I'm going to add, again from our farmer's market, I preferably want these without the seeds, so that's why I've just taken the sides off the tomato. I won't waste the tomato, of course. I'll use it in a soup or a sandwich, the rest of it. But for this, I didn't want the seeds actually in the finished dish. So we just want to dice that tomato up. And that's going to go into our Cous Cous. And to carry through the Moroccan theme, I'm just going to put a little shake of the Moroccan seasoning in there as well. Stir that together. And I'm just using a little mould here, and I'm just going to put the Cous Cous into the mould with the tomato. Give it a firm press down. Now, if you didn't have one of these fancy moulds, you could use a teacup or a coffee cup. So pop that in the microwave to heat up. Bit of a clear down. Bring our plate over. We've got our Cous Cous ready. Out comes our nice pieces of rabbit, and like any meat, we should let that rest. So that's just heated our Cous Cous up. We can turn that little mould out. Going to cut our rabbit through, nicely cooked, nice and juicy. We can just have our rabbit coming down the side. Those last couple of pieces, and then virtually just using our pesto just to drizzle through there, and again we'll finish with a nice piece of herb just to finish that off. So there we have our wonderful local rabbit, just oven roasted, served with our tomato Cous Cous and our herbed pesto.